After 60, your body begins to change in ways you never expected. You may feel weaker, tire faster, or struggle to lift things that used to be light. But the real shock: studies show that we lose up to 30% of our muscle mass between the ages of 60 and 80, even if we stay active. This isn't just about getting older, it's about how much muscle loss can steal from your daily life. Weak legs mean more risk of falling, slower recovery from illness, and even a loss of independence. Many seniors tell me they thought it was just normal aging, but often it's actually nutrition and lifestyle that quietly speed up the decline. Here's the good news: muscle isn't gone forever. It can be rebuilt at any age. And you don't need an expensive gym membership or piles of supplements. If you look at places like Japan, you'll see men and women in their 70s and 80s still gardening, biking, even dancing. A big reason is the way they eat: simple, affordable, protein-rich foods that fuel their strength day after day. That's what this video is about. 7 traditional foods, common in Japanese kitchens, that can help you feel steadier, stronger, and more in control of your body again. Why we lose muscle so quickly after 60. If you've been feeling weaker lately, you're not imagining it. The science is clear. After age 60, we can lose up to 3% of muscle every year. Over a decade, that adds up to nearly 1/3 of your strength disappearing. Doctors call this sarcopenia, but to most people it just feels like daily life getting harder. Maybe standing from a chair takes more effort. Maybe carrying groceries feels heavier than it should. These are warning signs that your muscles aren't responding the way they used to. One major reason is something called anabolic resistance. In simple terms, the same piece of chicken or bowl of beans that built muscle in your 40s won't have the same impact in your 60s. Your body still needs protein. In fact, it needs more of it, and more often. Add in smaller meals, skipped breakfasts, and less activity, and you can see how the decline speeds up. The real lesson here is that muscle is not just about looking fit. It's your personal engine, keeping blood sugar stable, protecting bones, supporting balance, and even powering your immune system. When that engine weakens, everything else feels the effect. Why Japanese elders maintain muscle better than the West. In many parts of the Western world, aging is often linked with walkers, railings, or mobility aids. But in Japan, it's not unusual to see people in their 80s riding bikes to the market or sweeping their yards every morning. The contrast is striking, and food habits play a big role. Instead of saving protein for one large dinner, Japanese culture spreads smaller amounts across the day. That steady intake gives muscles frequent signals to repair and stay alive. Western diets, on the other hand, often overload the body at night when digestion is slower, making it harder for seniors to benefit from the protein they eat. Their meals are also colorful and intentional. Instead of relying heavily on red meat or processed foods, you'll see bowls of tofu, miso, small fish, seaweed, and buckwheat noodles. Each dish isn't just filling, it's restorative. This way of eating, known as shokuiku, or mindful eating, teaches that food connects body, mind, and community. And it's not just food. Movement is woven into daily routines. Walking to the bus, squatting while cooking, tending gardens. These small but consistent actions act like natural exercise, giving muscles the signals they need to stay strong well into old age. The power of natto, fermented soybeans that strengthen muscle and bone. At first glance, natto doesn't look like the kind of food you'd expect to be a powerhouse. It's sticky, stringy, and has a smell that turns many people away. But hidden inside this humble dish is one of the richest plant-based sources of protein, plus unique nutrients that aging bodies desperately need. A small serving of natto delivers not only quality protein, but also vitamin B2. This vitamin helps calcium move into your bones instead of building up in arteries. For seniors, that means stronger bones, healthier joints, and fewer fractures. What makes this even more interesting is that natto supports digestion through natural probiotics. A healthy gut means better nutrient absorption, something many older adults struggle with as metabolism slows down. What I find compelling is how natto fits naturally into Japanese life. It's not treated like a miracle supplement, it's breakfast. A bowl of rice, a little natto, maybe some green onion or mustard. That daily rhythm provides steady signals to muscles without overwhelming the stomach. In contrast, many Western diets focus on large, heavy protein meals at dinner, which can be hard to digest and less effective for aging muscles. There's also a real-world story worth noting. I once read about Mr. Johnson, a 73-year-old in Oregon who began adding natto to his meals after learning about it from a Japanese neighbor still hiking in his 80s. At first, he disliked the texture, but within weeks he noticed better energy and digestion. At his next checkup, he had regained some lean muscle. For an older adult, that small improvement meant greater independence and confidence. Science supports these observations. Studies in nutrition journals show that older adults who eat fermented soy regularly maintain more muscle and function better in daily activities. The combination of protein, vitamin K2, and probiotics is rare in one simple food. And because natto is affordable and easy to find in Asian grocery stores, it's one of the most practical ways to rebuild strength without expensive supplements. That's the beauty of natto. It's not flashy. It's not a fad. It's quiet, steady nourishment that works from the inside out. Miso soup, more than just comfort food, a gentle source of daily protein. If you've ever stayed at a traditional Japanese inn, you probably remember waking up to the aroma of warm miso broth. It feels soothing, almost like a hug in a bowl. But beyond comfort, miso offers a steady way for older adults to bring protein and other nutrients into their diet without strain. Miso is made by fermenting soybeans with rice or barley, creating not only flavor, but also probiotics and enzymes that help aging bodies absorb nutrients better. A single bowl may not match the protein of a steak, but that's not the point. The secret is consistency, small amounts spread through the day. That rhythm of nourishment is often missing in Western diets where protein is loaded into one heavy dinner. What I like about miso soup is its flexibility. You can keep it simple with just broth, or enrich it with tofu, seaweed, mushrooms, or small pieces of fish. Each addition layers in more minerals and protein while still staying light. For seniors with smaller appetites or sensitive digestion, this matters a lot. You feel nourished without the heaviness that sometimes follows meat-heavy meals. There's a story of Mrs. Carter, a 77-year-old from Minnesota, who began making miso soup after her granddaughter introduced her to a quick recipe. She described it as her midday reset. After several months, she noticed less afternoon fatigue and steadier blood pressure. For her, it wasn't about chasing some miracle food. It was about a simple ritual that worked quietly in the background. Studies back this up. Research shows that fermented soy products like miso are linked with lower risk of sarcopenia, more stable blood sugar, and improved metabolic health. That combination makes it a powerful ally for protecting both muscles and energy levels. The fact that it has been a staple in Japan for centuries speaks volumes about its staying power. To me, the biggest lesson from miso is that nutrition doesn't have to be complicated. A spoonful here, a bowl there, repeated day after day. That kind of gentle, sustainable approach often does more for long-term strength than extreme diets or quick fixes. Small fish, the tiny Japanese superfood for muscle, bone, and brain health. In the West, fish is often thought of as a special dinner choice, maybe once or twice a week. But in Japan, small fish like sardines or anchovies are everyday staples. And that habit may be one of the reasons their elders keep strength and mental clarity much longer. These little fish pack more than just protein. Because they're eaten whole, bones, skin, and organs, they deliver calcium, vitamin D, and phosphorus in a natural, easy-to-absorb form. For someone over 60, that's like giving both muscles and bones the building blocks they desperately need. Add in omega-3 fats, and you've got a food that supports brain function, reduces inflammation, and helps slow muscle breakdown. What strikes me most is the practicality. A bag of dried anchovies can last weeks, and canned sardines are affordable, shelf-stable, and ready in minutes. Unlike expensive supplements or complicated recipes, small fish provide big results with minimal effort. For seniors on a budget, this makes them one of the most accessible superfoods around. There's a story I remember about Mr. Lewis, an 82-year-old from Ohio. He never cared for fish, saying the smell put him off. But after his daughter made him a simple sardine dish with lemon and rice, he gave it a try. He later said he felt clear-headed, like my brain switched back on. Now he eats them twice a week and swears it helps his memory. Science supports these kinds of observations. Research shows that older adults with higher omega-3 levels maintain muscle longer and perform better physically. When combined with the minerals from whole small fish, the benefits are even stronger. It's a rare example of one food that strengthens body and mind together. The lesson here is simple. Don't underestimate the little things. Small fish may not look impressive, but for seniors, they're a quiet powerhouse that keeps the body resilient and the brain sharp. Tofu and soy foods, the golden protein for aging bodies without meat. As people get older, many naturally move away from heavy meat dishes. Some find them harder to digest, while others simply lose the appetite for big portions. But the body's demand for protein never stops. In fact, it grows after 60 because muscles need more support to stay strong. That's where tofu and other soy-based foods shine. A small block of tofu delivers complete protein, plus minerals like calcium and iron, along with plant compounds called isoflavones that support bones and heart health. Unlike red meat, tofu is light on the stomach, making it an easy choice for seniors who want steady energy without feeling weighed down. What makes soy unique is its versatility. In Japan, tofu isn't treated as a substitute. It's a daily staple. It can be eaten chilled with scallions, simmered in broth, or pan-fried until golden. Beyond tofu, you'll find soy milk, tofu skin, and even fried soy products like abura age. All of these offer gentle, affordable ways to bring protein into the diet throughout the day. I think of a patient story I read about Mrs. Miller, a 75-year-old from Chicago. After stomach surgery, she struggled with meat, but started eating soft tofu soups and miso with small cubes of tofu. Within weeks, she noticed more energy and less muscle loss. For her, tofu wasn't just food. It was the key to feeling full and nourished again. There's also a cultural lesson here. Tofu reflects a philosophy of balance, mild in taste, soft in texture, but deeply nourishing. It reminds us that strength doesn't always come from heavy protein-packed meals. Sometimes it comes from gentle consistency, day after day. Scientific studies confirm what tradition has long shown. Older adults who include soy foods regularly tend to maintain better muscle function, bone density, and overall vitality. For anyone looking for a protein source that's affordable, digestible, and effective, Soy remains one of the best answers. Japanese eggs, soft, simple, and surprisingly powerful for muscle after 60. Eggs are one of the most familiar foods in the world. But in Japan, they're more than just a breakfast item. They're a symbol of nourishment, often prepared with care in light, balanced dishes that fit perfectly into the needs of an aging body. Each egg contains 6 to 7 grams of high-quality protein, along with B12, choline, and selenium. These nutrients support muscle repair, nerve health, and steady energy. What makes the Japanese approach unique isn't just the egg itself, but the way it's cooked. Instead of greasy omelets, they prepare tamago, a light rolled omelet seasoned with soy sauce and a hint of sweetness, steamed rather than fried. This style matters because it's easier to digest and provides an early dose of protein. Research shows that spreading protein intake across the day, especially at breakfast, helps older adults maintain muscle more effectively. Starting the morning with eggs gives the body what it needs to begin repairing and fueling muscles right away. I remember reading about Mr. Harris, a 78-year-old from Colorado who switched his morning toast and jam for a small bowl of rice, vegetables, and a tamago-style omelet. After a few months, he reported feeling less brain fog and steadier energy through the afternoon. His doctor also noted that his strength was improving, even without major changes in exercise. Eggs are also versatile. Boiled, scrambled, steamed, or paired with rice, they can be adapted to any taste or appetite. For seniors who may tire of heavy meals, eggs offer an easy way to bring protein into the diet without stress. In Japan, they're even included in hospital meals and school lunches, showing how deeply they're trusted as everyday nourishment. The lesson is simple. You don't need complicated superfoods to stay strong. Sometimes, a humble egg, cooked thoughtfully, can be one of the best tools for maintaining independence and vitality after 60. Buckwheat soba, the noodle that feeds strength, not just hunger. In many Western diets, noodles and pasta are often seen as comfort food, tasty, but not necessarily healthy. In Japan, however, soba stands apart because it's made from buckwheat, a grain that naturally contains protein, fiber, and antioxidants. This makes soba a nourishing choice for seniors who want energy without the heavy crash that comes from refined carbs. A typical serving of soba can provide around 12 grams of plant-based protein, especially when paired with tofu, egg, or small fish. It's also lower on the glycemic index than regular noodles, which means it won't spike blood sugar. For older adults, that balance helps keep energy levels steady and supports muscle recovery. The presence of rutin, an antioxidant in buckwheat, also improves circulation and reduces inflammation in joints. What's powerful about soba isn't just nutrition, it's also culture. In Japan, soba is tied to tradition, like the New Year's Eve custom of eating long noodles called toshikoshi soba, symbolizing resilience and long life. These cultural habits remind us that food can be more than fuel. It can carry meaning and motivation to live well into old age. I once heard about Mrs. Reynolds, an 84-year-old from Seattle, who started eating soba after her daughter brought some from an Asian market. She enjoyed it cold with dipping sauce during the summer and hot in broth during the winter. She said it became her secret weapon for staying active, and her family noticed she walked with more steadiness after adding it to her weekly meals. The accessibility of soba also makes it appealing. While some brands mix it with white flour, 100% buckwheat noodles are increasingly available in Western grocery stores. Affordable, versatile, and gentle on digestion, soba proves that not all noodles are empty calories. In the right form, they can be a steady source of strength and independence. Edamame, the simple Japanese snack, that fuels muscle and joy. Picture a bowl of bright green soybeans, lightly salted and still warm from steaming. You pop them out of the pod one by one, and before you know it, you've eaten a snack that feels both fun and deeply nourishing. That's the magic of edamame. Simple, but packed with power. 1 cup of edamame offers nearly 18 grams of protein, plus fiber, iron, magnesium, and folate. For seniors, that means muscle protection, steadier energy, and nutrients that keep the body resilient. Unlike processed protein bars or powders, edamame is real food. No additives, no hidden ingredients, just a clean, plant-based source of strength that's easy on digestion. What I love about edamame is its versatility. You can enjoy it as a quick snack, toss it into salads, add it to stir-fries, or mix it with rice bowls. For older adults with smaller appetites, it's an easy way to sneak in more protein without forcing down heavy meals. And because it's low in calories but filling, it helps avoid the afternoon slump many people experience after sugary snacks. There's also a social side to this food. In Japan, edamame is often shared around the table with family or friends, making it more than just a snack. It's a ritual. I remember reading about Mrs. Lopez, an 82-year-old from Texas, who swapped her cookie habit for a small bowl of edamame in the afternoons. She said it not only stabilized her blood sugar, but also gave her a sense of calm as she slowly shelled each bean. For me, the biggest lesson is that healthy eating doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes, all it takes is reaching for something natural, simple, and satisfying. Edamame proves that even the smallest choices can bring energy, balance, and joy to everyday life. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you from one human heart to another. Rebuilding strength after 60 isn't about chasing youth. It's about honoring the body you live in today. The Japanese way shows us that health doesn't come from dramatic changes, but from small, steady steps. A spoonful of miso here, a handful of edamame there, a piece of tofu, or a simple egg at breakfast. Each choice is like a quiet vote for your independence. Too often, people think decline is inevitable. But what if the real secret is in consistency? Muscles respond to daily signals, not occasional big efforts. By giving your body steady protein and gentle movement, you create an environment where strength can return. It might not happen overnight, but the gains, even small ones, can change how you live. A bit more stamina when walking, a steadier hand when standing up, a little more confidence in every step. I think about Mr. Daniels, a 76-year-old from North Carolina who once believed his weakness was just getting old. But after adding simple foods like sardines, tofu, and miso soup to his meals, he noticed a difference. Not dramatic, but real. He could garden longer without needing to sit down, and he felt lighter on his feet. Stories like his remind us that resilience is built one meal, one choice at a time. So here's the takeaway. You are not weak, you are rebuilding. Every meal is a chance to care for yourself, to send your muscles the message that they still matter. You don't need to adopt all 7 foods at once. Start with 1 and let your body feel the difference. With patience and kindness, strength has a way of finding its way back.